In the breaking news we are following for you this morning, with just hours to go in his term, President Biden issuing pardons, or pre-pardons, I guess you could say, for General Mark Milley, Dr. Anthony Fauci, and all Congress members and staff who served on the January 6th Select Committee. That includes witnesses who also testified against.
Want you guys to remember something back in Trump's first term, when Fauci came out and said, I didn't do anything wrong. Everything I did was according to the law. You guys are crazy. You're blaming me for something that I didn't do. And Trump said, nah, you're going to jail, buddy. And now we have Biden issuing pre-pardons. I guess that's a pardon to something that you haven't done yet in terms of being convicted. I think that these are going to become more and more popular. So don't necessarily come down on Biden quite yet because he's given pre-pardons, because I think that in the future, and if it's not with Trump, it's going to be with someone else, that you're going to hear more and more about pre-pardons because media is mass and it's spreading like wildfire, and you're going to hear about these things on a more grand scale much faster.
President Trump, lawmakers on Capitol Hill reacting, Senator Eric Schmidt saying the guy who claimed he would protect norms continues to bulldoze them and the Constitution until the bitter end. Biden truly is one of the worst presidents in American history and will only be remembered as the guy between Trump's two terms. Joining me now is Tennessee Senator Marsha Blackburn. She's a member of the Senate Judiciary, Commerce, Small Business, Health, Joint Economic, Finance, and Veterans Affairs Committee. Senator Blackburn, it is wonderful to have you. Your reaction to this breaking news?
Oh, Cheryl, they know that they did things that were unlawful and certainly unethical. And President Biden knows this. So as information comes out, he wants to be able to say that he gave them a pardon. And it is basically for them to be held unaccountable for what they did with the committee, with COVID. And I'm not surprised by this at all. This is a president who has worked overtime trying to make illegal legal so it would suit his agenda, which is America last.
But, you know, Senator, I don't think I personally, we're looking into this. I've never seen this happen before, this quote unquote pre-pardon, if you will. Is this constitutional?
I'm sure there will be discussion about that. The president has the right to issue pardons. And indeed, as you're saying, no one has ever issued preemptive pardons. But he did that with Hunter. He has done that now with people that testified against President Trump. Here's what Joe Biden is missing. On November 5th, the American people sent a message that they wanted to see action. They wanted change. They want the border secure. They want inflation dealt with. They want the economy to be strong. They want us to return to our standing in the world. That is what Donald Trump is going to deliver. And
we want all of these things. This sounds great, but we don't want criminals running the street just because you give them pardons, man. It doesn't take away the fact that they did a crime. And they're still able to run out in the streets. Yes, we want America safe. We want America wealthy. We want America rich. We want America thriving. We want all of these things. We want people to have jobs. We want our healthcare system fixed. We want all of these things. We want our taxes reduced. We want our groceries to be reduced. We want to have livable wages. We don't want criminals running around in the street. And that's exactly what this shows. Let's keep going.
Forward to his being sworn in today, to this ceremony, and seeing him move forward on the agenda for the American people.
All right, Senator. Well, certainly there is a long day ahead and a lot of celebrations and pomp and circumstance. And then, of course, later today, the Senate gets back to work because you're going to be back in business. And it sounds like one of the first things you're going to be looking at is the confirmation of Senator Marco Rubio.
Yes, indeed. We are looking forward to that. We are still working to reach an agreement on time and being able to confirm Senator Rubio, John Ratliff, pushing Kristi Noem forward, Getting these confirmations done today is important, and you're going to see us every single day starting the confirmations and pushing them across the finish line so that President Trump has his cabinet in place so we can move forward with the American people's agenda.
All right. Well, no rest for the weary, and certainly getting a Secretary of State in place would be of paramount importance considering what we're seeing happening overseas with Israel and Hamas and the deal that has been struck there. The other big news I do want to get your take on, and I know we've talked about this before, is TikTok. So they restored service to more than 170 million American users yesterday. There was a 14-hour shutdown. Now, the app failed to secure a U.S. buyer before that, but President Trump coming through to keep it running. Here's what he wrote. I'm asking companies not to let TikTok stay dark. I will issue an executive order on Monday to extend the period of time before the law's prohibitions take effect so that we can make a deal to protect our national security. A pop-up on the app actually read, as a result of President Trump's efforts, TikTok is back in the U.S. Here is Donald Trump yesterday. Watch.
Let me tell you the issue. I like social media. I don't personally have TikTok. It's not even downloaded on my phone. But I think social media is needed, right? It gives opportunity for independent journalism. It gives people an opportunity to make some money because the information that they're able to store on their servers about each individual that's in the U.S. can be used against us, right? Do you have an app, or do you have a brokerage or a bank that you call into and you authenticate your security through your voice, right? This information can be stored. When you have apps like TikTok and others, they also have access to other apps on your phone, which could be secured information, right? Your phones, your voice memos, your notes, all of these things, it now has access to, and the China communist country now has access to. So there's a reason why this stuff needs to be secured. Now, if you have a company that comes in that wants to buy it, you've got to buy it outright. It has to be owned and ran in the United States. Now, it's not to say that this information is going to be used in the United States, but at least it's not used overseas against us on our soil.
Here is Donald Trump yesterday. Watch.
And as of today, TikTok is back. I said, I'll approve, but let the United States of America own 50% of TikTok. I'm approving on behalf of the United States. The United States will do what we call a joint venture, and there's no risk. We're not putting up any money. All we're doing is giving them the approval. So whether you like TikTok or not, we're going to make a lot of money.
But, Senator, some lawmakers, your colleagues, have taken a hard stand.
Let's end it there. I just want people to think about, the repercussion about partially owning, going in on a joint venture with the Chinese communist country, and what that serves to you in terms of it being possibly devastating to your data, to your information, to your identity. Just think about these things. Till next time.